Callum, there's a mech-based XCOM game out, so
Yeah.
of course we're going to look at this, because of course we are.
You say
That's
we.
that's how
You
this
have
is-
looked at this because this is you.
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry. I have looked at this. Because of course I have. This is Phantom Brigade. This is a game that has been out in early access for like a year, I think, or something, maybe slightly longer than that.
I've been hearing about it for a very long time.
Yeah,
I believe that.
It's from Brace Yourself Games, which their previous two games you would know are Crypt of the Necrodancer and Industries of Titan, which is a great little
Titan's Industry, you mean?
No, Industries of Titan is the name of the game.
Oh, it's the space one, right?
It's the space city builder that I quite liked as well, which I haven't got back to.
Yes, they make good games, I remember.
They make very good games. Oh, is that all that it gives you in the intro cutscene? Ah, shit. I was hoping that it was going to give you some of the story and not go into the tutorial. Because the tutorial is a bit much. So instead what I'm going to do is...
Is the story not just, hey,
the story's pretty simple, but I was just going to kind of show the thing. I'm just going to load my game that I preserved for this exact purpose. So yeah, this is...
Prepare a save file?
I did prepare a save file. So this is Phantom Brigade. It is a turn-based XCOM style game, but with a different style of actual encounter. It's not turn-based in a traditional XCOM style where you've got like action points and stuff like that. There's a couple of different layers to that, but we'll get there. So what you do have is a world map, which is new. So the story basic setup for this is there was a hostile force that took over the country, as you can see. And basically the resistance forces got pushed back and was basically defeated. And then we came up with this technology called the prediction. I think it's just called the prediction drive. They may have just called it prediction. I can't quite remember. But basically, that is their gameplay reason for how the combat works in the way that it does. But this prediction drive is so
because
powerful.
I remember you saying this was like Frozen Synapse, where it's like a timeline thing.
Yeah, we'll get to that pretty quick. So at this level, anyway, you've got your world map, which we'll get into. You've got your pilot selection, which are your actual pilots. You've got your actual mechs. And again, if I just go into one of these mechs, hey, there's a lot of numbers and things happening here, and like different equipment and all of this kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into all this because there's so many numbers, but like they go into the important things here are things like speeds. Each of these are the health points of the different parts of your mech. You've got cooldowns, which are also very important. That once we get into the actual combat, we can show that.
I was trying to figure out where this mech's head was.
Doesn't. It's this here. It's this.
That's
thing.
the head, right?
That's the head up here.
But it has a handle on the front of it.
Yeah, because sure. Does this one have?
Because you really want to give your opponent mech a thing to grab onto when you rip the head off. Yeah.
So both of these are very similar. So this is like just after the tutorial, basically, like just after you get a little bit more established. So I have two mechs. I've got one with a shield and a marksman rifle. You've got various different types of gun here, but marksman rifle, obviously, like very, very long range, like very specific ranges. You have different like damage types and all this kind of stuff.
Why does a mech have a handgun? What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's very quick to fire, as it turns out. You can just kind of unload into people. The shotgun is also
Can you have two handguns? Can you have one in each hand?
Can you have one in each? No, because you've got a primary and a secondary. So I think handguns are technically primaries. Yeah, and you've got shield. You can have a handgun and an SMG. You know.
That's okay. Sure. That's
in fact, you could probably have.
So at time of recording, I literally watched the new John Wick movie like yesterday. So I
just want everything to have two handguns.
Yeah, everything should just have as many pistols as possible.
So I'm going to give this guy an assault rifle. And am I good enough yet to do the shotgun? Shotgun.
The Shred 2. The SG2 Shred.
The SG2 Shred.
Or the SG2 Heavy. What's the difference? What's the SG3 Heavy? Is that just a bigger shotgun?
So all the guns, if I just show you, the guns have like manufacturers and like traits, kind of. So like the shotgun fires fucking physical bullets, so it's a ballistic style
it's not
gun.
like a plasma gun or whatever.
Yeah, but very much kind of like Borderlands. Each of the manufacturers prioritize different things. So you're like, okay, so like the standard ones, like especially with like legs and torsos and stuff like that, like the Elbrus ones are like very middle of the road and kind of do a lot of things.
Oh sure,
reasonably
yeah.
well.
I would expect that from the robots. Yeah.
But the important thing here between this, and again, these numbers are levels. So if this is a level 2 gun, this is a level 1 gun, whatever.
Sure.
The important thing here is the level 2 version of this gun. See this here, where this is red. This basically took me a long time to figure this out, what this meant. But basically, anytime you fire this gun, it's going to overheat your mech. That's why it's in red, and that's why that big fucking fire is there. So you can't quite do that. So like in my
is that because of the inherent thing of the gun, or is it because you can't use this gun because your mech's not good enough to be able to handle firing it?
My mech can't dissipate the heat quick enough to handle the thing.
I love a shotgun that you fire that gets so hot your mech just instantly bursts into flames.
But the level 1 gun I can use because it's got that. And this is my shield is its own action. So there's a lot of customization in here. You can spend a long time in here really tweaking various arms. And
where are your heat sinks? Where's your that's the thing that always
heat sinks part of the torso. So heat dissipation, heat capacity, power, bioregeneration.
Oh, okay, it's just a number. You can't just like cover your robot in heat sinks. And
no,
like
it's part of this. But you can. Okay. But the parts do have slots, and again, there's like common, uncommon, rare, legendary. I think legendary is the top one. I can't remember. But there's like rarities of these things which have different slots.
Sure.
So this one, for instance, has a permanent better heat dissipation because that's just built in because it's locked. But then the green ones they have slots you can put stuff in and all this kind of stuff, all the kind of things you would expect. You can randomly generate names and stuff like that. You can just straight up go in and like paint your mech as well and there's a lot of what feel like Destiny shaders to me, but like they're all in there. And you just say, okay, just paint everything this color because it looks great. Cool. Oh, excellent. I also have one that is currently out of action because it's missing some stuff. Apparently, it's missing everything. Because this is just the frame. I think I got this frame from a mission that I just kind of took it down. So yeah, you can fit it out with. So let's actually just fit this out and take on the mission. So you're the one that gets the marksman rifle now, and I'll give you a shield, and you can be heavy because you're not moving that much. Heavy legs, heavy arm. Heavy arm. Cool. So this one's got way more integrity than the other ones, which is just like your amount of armor, basically. It can take the shots because it's got power dissipation. It all looks good.
Jesus Christ, man.
You're going to...
You need to play the game and stop just...
Okay, but I'm just saying there's a lot in here, right? Also, this one's it's kind of damaged at the minute, but that won't be a problem because we'll get to that.
That is okay, sure.
Inventory, workshop is you spend resources to build stuff and you unlock blueprints and stuff like that over there. And again, it's tracked to... I'm trying to remember what game this is that had a similar system, but like the more you have, the more stuff you've taken over, the higher your level is, and then you build the same stuff at that level. So like if I was to build a body part now, it would start at level 3 as opposed to like...
okay, sure.
So that just gets improved. And then there's a tech tree, which is just a whole bunch of stuff in it as well.
It's a tech tree. We know what a tech tree looks like.
Yeah. So let's go back to the world. So basically what happens is the kind of flow of the game has kind of two, at this level anyway, has 2 stages. You have a mobile base, which is in here, and you can tell your base to go... Why am I not moving? There, play. Mobile base, go. Nope. Why are you not moving? Oh, because I'm
like deployed or something?
Oh, I'm resting and resupplying. Shit. Okay, I'm just going to make it go.
Okay.
Speed everything up and let that fill up. But basically the objective is like take over all these provinces. And you do that with 2 steps. So the mobile base is a mobile base. It is a big giant truck that holds all your mechs and stuff like that. So you can just roll this around the world. Cool, we're done. So mobile base, go. And it's going to run over. Let's speed this up a little bit. And this is like just your radar range. So hey, we found unknown contact. It is a broken down convoy with...
Oh, so it's just like scanning the area?
It's scanning the area, yeah, basically. So here you've got an actual reinforced camp. You've got a broken down convoy. This seems doable. Mobile squad transports visual, lightly defended, eliminating it less for salvage. That would be a good thing to show off the combat. So we're going to go do this. Also, you'll note that it's got a... the TR level, the number there is your threat level, basically. And that matches your current threat or that is like their threat level, and this is your threat level, 89.
That's just like a relative idea of how difficult.
So once you get in there, you'll see it'll be like, this is marked as easy, comparing those 2 things. Okay, so now they've seen us coming, so they've now launched a... or this is kind of... Sometimes this will happen, sometimes this won't, but they'll launch a distress beacon that's like, hey, we're being attacked, somebody needs to come. But you can like upgrade your mobile base to do things like smoke so they can't see coming, and like radar evasion and all this kind of stuff. Cool. So we're going to do a raid. So this is ambushing an enemy convoy, take as much cargo as possible, and retreat. And then a couple other things, but like, hey, you can run away if you need to. A bunch of stuff. And then, so they're level 3 with a threat level 52, okay. Blah, all this kind of stuff. I don't have an extra pilot, so I can't take that third mech. So you need a pilot and a mech in order to be able to take that.
Yeah.
But be fine. Let's get into it.
How do you get that sort of stuff? How do you get more pilots?
Pilots you just recruit, so you can just go back to the base, you hit a button that says recruit, so you just spend a bunch of resources over time. Right. The one thing I will say about this game that's different from, I mean, there's many things, but one of the things that I think is slightly disappointing is pilots aren't like special, like they're just bodies. Like they don't infer any bonuses depending on which pilot you take. Sure. They're literally just like, you need someone in that thing. As far as I can tell right now, like I'm not hugely in, maybe that changes later, but you just need, like, they're just names, like the mechs of the characters basically in this. So let's get into some combat. So again, what we need to do, we need to get in here, take as much cargo as we need, and then get the fuck out again. So I can, cool. So I can escape. There should be an escape point somewhere on the map. Yeah, over here. So if I need to get out here, as long as I get in there.
You just have to run that way? Okay.
I survive and get out. Here's the objective. Here's the stuff you need to grab.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I can already see how this works.
Yeah, so there's kind of a lot happening. The tutorial's pretty good.
I was going to say, there seems to be a lot going on, but yeah.
The tutorial's pretty good, but it's a lot of it is just like you fucking up constantly and going, oh, that's how that works. So you've got your mission status, and apparently there's 2 objectives. Interesting. I don't know where the second one is right now, but I'm sure it'll come across. You need to get it on for 2 turns. That's what it is. Okay, cool. Okay, so everything down here is basically the important stuff. So you've got your 2 mechs here, all their current health and status and all this kind of stuff is down here, what they're equipped with, blah, blah, blah. The way the whole combat works is it is, like you said, it's very similar to, or it has the same concept as Frozen Synapse, which is a game from a while ago. Where it is all about time and positioning rather than like action points. And you can see like here I have like essentially a timeline, right? It is like you have 5 seconds worth of time that you need to plan out. And also, as I scrub this timeline, you can see how the enemy are going to move. This is the prediction drive thing that's there. So again, if I just click on one of these guys, you just see on the timeline what they're going to do. So this guy's going to run here, and then he's going to attack here. This guy is going to just stay there, apparently. These tanks move, attack, blah, blah, blah. So what do we want to do? So we want our guy with the assault rifle. This is the shotgun guy. Guy with the assault rifle. We want him to run. And as you can see, like,
so is this like as the timeline happens, this is always going to happen, or are things going to change? As
so you can see stuff? As I'm moving my character, or as I'm planning where my character's going to go, you can see the enemy plan updating. So like once it's here, like they're going to point at the screen. That's not going to work, Euan. This guy here is since he's going to change his mind and actually not shoot there because he's going to do something else. Yeah. You can see the tank moving.
So it's adaptable.
Yeah. So I'm basically.
So it's not like Frozen Synapse where you're both deciding what to do at once and then executing on it. Things adapt and change over the course of the time.
You are, but when you hit go, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Right. Okay.
Sure. So I'm going to move this guy. So this is the assault rifle. So he can basically. He's got a pretty decent range. And you can see as I'm moving around, you see I've got like 2 rings around me that move as I move. Mm-hmm. You want to be in between. I can't really.
Is that like your effective range?
That's your effective range, basically. So you want your get rid of that. You want to basically it's in between the 2 rings as the effective range. So that point, that guy's in there with this tank. Sure. That guy will be in the effective range. So let's just kind of I'm going to fail this horribly, just FYI. So I'm going to get that guy there, and you can see it's going to take him all these seconds to get over there, and he's going to get shot as he goes. So the thing I think I really like about this is that it really does let you feel like the mech combat that you see in like animation and movies and CG and stuff like that. So as you can see, I've planned this movement over here, and you can see about here, I'm going to start getting shot. So one of the things I can do is because I've got a great big fuck off shield, I can go, okay, shield, and I want the shield to start about here when I start getting shot.
Ah, you can actually put it on the timeline.
Yeah, and then
that's pretty good.
The target as well is basically which way you're going to face. You can see like as I'm facing, like here's the area that I'm going to cover. So just generally that way. So instead, what happens is you run, shield comes up, starts blocking those guys for the amount of time they're going to shoot, and then here, this is where I start to, because I'm then in range, I'm going to start opening up on this thing, and you can see there like optimal range. You can see how like, and the 100% is like that is gonna hit for sure, because it's in that range. All of the other thing to know is all of the physical, like bullets, missiles, anything that shoots is physics
your
based.
Different start. Yeah.
So there's no like
it's physics based.
It's all physics based. So if it clips something, if it clips a hill, if it clips a building, it will clip that building. For instance, and like some of the things that have like impact behind them, which is like a type of damage, like it can blow enemies back. It can like knock them into things. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to attack, and you can see as I'm attacking, see that there's like a little thermometer that comes up just here. That's it.
Heat.
That's the heat level. So I can probably actually get another attack in there.
It's my favorite fucking thing about mech games is how much people talk about fucking heat. It is.
So you can see that my heat. So you can
people don't play mech games the same way I play mech games, which is you just make a really big mech and put as many lasers on it and as much heat
you can make some pretty
possible.
ridiculous looking fucking mechs in this game.
I'm sure you can.
And it's great, but they do kind of just go on fire a lot. And I'll talk
about. That's great.
Yeah, so it is. So
I love the idea of single-use mechs that come in and kill everything and then just explode.
But that's the thing. Like you end up building mechs that are dangerous to use, but are so effective they're worth it. And like, especially when you get to situations where like, I just need the shot to happen. I know it's going to do damage, but fuck it. So you can see here, like I'm queuing up 2 attacks, and then the moment where it crosses into the hashed part is where it comes overheating until it cools down again. So that for this like half a second, it's going to take damage. And there's 2 tracks on the timeline. There's like your move track and your action track. So you can do move and attack. And I'm just going to add a quick extra movement to just start kind of flanking them a little bit as well. Go up here. You can see that's gone straight off the timeline, but it'll still stop here. And then you can adjust it next turn and all this kind of stuff. So he's going to move up there. For this guy, the other thing that's very important that I learned very quickly. So as I'm moving, see if I do this, and you can see how they both turn yellow, they are going to collide. And again, that's physics-based, depending on how fast you're going, what you're doing.
Wait, hang on.
Yep.
So, but these people have advanced technology enough to where they can predict things that are going to happen before they happen. But they still have the ability to run into each other.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I guess these mechs are kind of like cars, right? Like they get going and then you have to like slow them.
You're still piloting them. So the advantage as well is you can do this on enemies, right? I could run straight at this tank. Unfortunately, what's probably going to happen is I'm going to trip and fall over. But you do get weapons that are like...
Wait, if you run at a tank, you just fall over?
You trip over the tank, yeah. If you run through the tank...
Bullshit. If you not just fucking stomp it, is that not...
You do. I mean, you will both take damage, but the low center of gravity of a tank and the high center of gravity of a mech, you're probably going to go down for a little bit. And again, the important thing here is that, like, so if I do this and end up, like, colliding, it's very obvious. But if I do, like, this... where they are going to cross over at the point where they're going to... So, like, if I do this, for instance, like, that tank's not moving, and I'm just going to run straight at that tank, it doesn't warn you. Like, it's obvious. But
right. It doesn't tell you that you're going to hit it.
It doesn't tell you you're going to hit it. But
is that not because you're going to get there after it's already dead? And that's why it
because
matter?
By the time I get... Because that stops moving here, and I can just fucking... barrel through it.
But by the time that you're there, this mech behind it has already shot it, though, right? Hasn't it?
Yes, but what if it doesn't go down?
Oh, okay, sure. Well, yeah, sure, okay. There's multiple levels of... Okay, sure.
So it doesn't do prediction for, like... So it doesn't do prediction for, like, you're going to do X amount of damage for sure. It's like, you're going to be able to hit this thing, but the amount of damage it's going to do is still a dice roll a little bit.
Right.
So for here, like...
So wait, how does like damage work then? Is it not... It's not like set. Like if you shoot at that thing, you're not guaranteed to kill it if you do enough damage.
So if I can I pull up my shotgun from here? Is that a thing I can do? I can't remember if I can do it, but if I could, let me go back to here. Attack. So on the right hand there, you can see Okay, so yeah, so you're basically guaranteed to do
optimal range. Okay.
Yeah, so you've got optimal range, your scatter, but there is still a scatter on it. So like it's still gonna it's not gonna hit directly.
Oh, okay, so you're not hitting every bullet. Okay, sure.
Maybe not. But again, this one says 100, so it's probably gonna hit every bullet. You know roughly how much damage it's gonna do, but it doesn't like visually show you you're going to destroy this tank. Like you're gonna try and hit it twice with your volleys. But the point I'm making is that like if you do this becomes a problem. Like here, this is just dumb, right? You're quite obviously running through a tank. Like you're gonna hit it. What happens is when you have like 3 or 4 mechs going at once and you're planning all these moves, you will 100% plan moves that you forget that somebody else is moving at the same time and just fucking collide.
Yeah. Got you.
So this guy's a shotgun, so he needs to get up close. So he's gonna go and try and take this guy. You can see like how smaller his effective range is. So my option are I can just start like straight up charge, or I can maybe go round here, but that's gonna I can't quite get up there. So probably my best option is just straight up charge this dude. So we're just gonna do that movement, which is gonna take me up there. You can see that I'm only gonna.
Aren't you just gonna get straight shot by that?
Yes,
robot pointing a gun at you.
But this guy also has a shield, so I'm gonna shield up here-ish, because this guy's gonna shoot me. So he's gonna shield up, and then by the time he gets there, we're just gonna unload. And you can see that like each shot takes a different like amount of time.
Yeah.
So like shotguns take longer. And sometimes it's like the machine gun just opens up and like just shoots for like 2 seconds straight. Sometimes the shotgun fires multiple shots, blah, blah, blah. The other thing I will point out, see the shotgun specifically, because it's got a real big scatter on it. So from here,
you're hitting multiple things, is that
you could potentially hit multiple things, but also you can 100% hit your own characters. So I had a situation
if they're behind it, right? Okay, yeah, sure.
So I had a situation where I was like basically this position where I was right up in somebody's face, blasting them, and another character running behind them to take something else. And again, just the way the timing worked, he was right behind them when the shot happened, and I just took out my own fucking mech. It was a nightmare. So now we've got a plan up here. You probably want to keep moving though, because it's the more movement, the less chance you're gonna get hit. So I'm just gonna take him out there. So he's gonna go up here, shield, blah, and then move. Cool. And there's my 2 guys. So let's execute and see what happens. So we're gonna run. There's your shield going up. Bang, bang. Cool. And then we slow down. So the other thing you can do is you can also replay, because I was basically watching this guy. Let's see what happened to this guy while we're here. He took the thing. Again, just stomped through that. There's the shots happening that we predicted. That's him opening up twice.
So what my favorite thing, and which this mech does here, the white one, in like mech anime and stuff like that, is the skate on your feet thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's very good. I like
that's why all of my characters have shields, is because it does this shit and it's cool as hell.
It does the cool skate fire thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can see, again, you can scrub through the timeline.
Right. So here's the important question, because this actually seems really cool. This is a really cool, unique thing. Can the mechs get beam sabers?
Yes. I haven't seen.
Yes.
I haven't seen beam sabers. I have seen straight up. I think they're basically described as vibroblades, kind of.
Oh, that's really.
Yeah, and the way that the vibroblades or the blades I've seen so far work is that they kind of the hit on them is like an L shape, or it's like a kind of like angle that looks like that on them. So you have
like
to
a cleave. Is
it? But the way the way it works is that just means like do a slash. You need to run use your run action to run through the enemy while that's happening. So you and then that can also be like a jet dash as well at the same time. So you can just do
so it's like so you're just setting a point at which the mech is going to do the slash.
It's basically like an AoE around the right hand side of the mech, and you have to make sure you're in position for that as well.
Sure.
So so what happened there? So now we've got here. So this guy. Okay, so you can see here.
Is this game ridiculously difficult?
It can go bad very quickly.
Right. Okay,
sure. But as long as you're as long as you're not like just blasting full speed ahead, there are definitely some missions where you're like, I am so over leveled for these guys, I can basically just stomp them. Sure. But you can. So that was one turn, right? And this guy, for instance, had to shield up the whole time. He's taken some damage, like half damage on his shield. He's had a little bit of arm damage, but basically and a little bit of damage on everything else as the scatter's gone. He's basically okay. There's also, and then the other guy he's taken a little bit of damage, a little bit of foot damage, but not that much. So you can see this icon here above this tank. This is the kind of like basically the kill mechanics that are in this. So you can see this guy can drive a little bit more, and then his pilot's going to eject, and then at that point this tank is now done, right? But the pilot's still going to eject, so you can still just like fucking open up on them. But basically this tank's out of action at this point. The same thing can happen to your mechs, where there is a time period on the timeline that is like your mech is taking too much damage, your pilot's going to eject. If they then really focus fire and kill you before the pilot ejects, like pilot's dead, mech's dead, everything's gone.
Right, okay.
But if you eject the pilot, they then appear on the overworld map and you can go pick them up and then you've got a pilot back. Pilots are expensive to make or to recruit, so you kind of want to keep them around.
Sure.
Whereas mechs, what you'll see at the end of this, are relatively cheap. Let's see if I can just clean this up. So my guy, where's my shotgun guy? He's here. We kind of want to clear this guy out so we can start taking this thing. So let's clear that out. We're just going to do another. We're going to, oops. And we're just going to immediately open up back onto this dude. So you can see he's going to try and make a run that way. And so you can see this is what I mean. Like, I need to put damage on this guy. This overheating, it'll be fine, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be all right.
That's probably okay.
But the problem is...
Not going to end in a huge explosion or anything.
Yeah. So if I was to shoot again immediately, like it's all just going to continue to overheat. But you can see as I move it in the timeline, you can see it's not going to overheat here. So we're going to set another attack on this guy from here. And then I just need to figure out how to move here. So what's going to happen? So this guy is going to get... That guy's going to open up here. So we're going to set a shield here. Because this guy's going to shoot from here. Actually, he's not going to shoot. Oh, yeah, he is. Okay, so he's going to shoot there. And then all the while, I'm going to kind of circle this guy to keep him within range. So I'm going to kind of move backwards over here. And then I'm going to just keep circling him. Like, just circle strafe him from here. So you can see that I'm going to do that, and we're going to skate round. Ah, see, there you go.
You're also going to trample this tank.
I'm going to run into that tank, so let's not do that. So let's
do it. I want to see what happens.
Okay. Let's just go straight through
this.
It's
not like the save is going to go anywhere. Fucking
That's
run
true.
over that tank.
So I'm going to do that. And I might actually show that other mechanic. And then this guy is going to try and focus up on here, and he's got slightly longer range. So he's just going to, like, fucking... So the other thing as well, like, elevation is super important as well. Like, just even for line of sight.
Good, yeah.
But also, like, mainly for line of sight. So you can run up here, and then you get much better shots at these guys. But actually, I just want to kind of barrel down this and maybe avoid this guy so I don't collide with him. So I'm just going to do a little juke in here. And then I'm going to go up to keep this guy in range. That's a big run. And then, so what's going to happen to him? That guy's going to shoot him. And then from here, basically just going to open up as soon as it's... So again, you don't want to shoot him here because he's going to go through your guy and that's going to go bad. So you kind of want to make it like here. You want to start shooting him. And then we're going to take this guy. There's another tank somewhere as well, which hasn't really done anything yet. There's one up the back there. Okay. So we're going to skate this guy. We're going to take that shot up there. And then we can probably get another shot in there.
So is it the amount of shots that you can take? Is there like reloading? Is there like
nope,
ammo?
There's no ammo. It's all just heat.
It's all just heat. Okay. So
yeah,
could you just set an attack as much as you wanted, regardless of...
If you could figure out, if you built a mech, which I assume you can do, where if you were to build like a tank mech, like a big heavy thing that is pure heat dissipation, you could probably just sit on a hill and just blast constantly because you'll never overheat. But you see, like,
well, I mean, like in this situation, so you've got on that timeline, you've got an attack and then a gap and then another attack.
Yeah. Could
you just move that other attack next to that first attack?
I can, but then you can see it shows up that it's going to overheat if I do that. So I'm just gapping it out.
Giving it a little bit of time to cool a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
so this bit here, like the bit in between where you can see the thermometer going back down, that's the heat dissipation stat. That is literally like...
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
It's a really smart idea. You can also like manually eject if you want.
Just for the hell of it.
Well, also, like, if you know you're going to go down and you know this is going to be really dangerous,
sure, you're doing it for safety or whatever. Yeah.
It will do it automatically if you take enough damage, but if you just go, fuck it, I know what's going to happen here, like, make your final shot that's going to overheat your mech, and then peace out.
And then,
like, you're going to
immediately hit the button, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's got enough stuff to do, so we're going to see how this goes. Execute. We're going to see. So this guy's going to hit that tank. Where is he? And... Okay, see, you kind of shoved the tank back a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's because that tank has no pilot, so there's no drive in it. so it's just going to get shoved back.
Right. Okay. So it's just a dead weight at that point.
Yeah.
Right,
the point becomes like if both items are powered and running against each other.
Yeah.
So like I've definitely done things where I've brought my shield up and ran directly into a mech, so the shield takes the most damage, but it does knock the mech over. Like that kind of stuff is totally doable. So what we've got now, so that tank is out of action completely, so it's not on the thing anymore. We've got this mech, and we've got this mech who is still...
See how your other mech is that the color of the mech, or does it look like it's about to catch on fire?
No, that's
it's orange on the inside.
That does look like it's just stopped being... I mean, we can see, right? You see him there, and... Oh, because we knew that shot was going to overheat him a little bit. So there you go.
Ah, okay.
So you can see him overheating
fired at from the back. Right, okay, got you.
And you can also see he's lost his fucking arm, which
that
is
as well,
probably
that's not very good.
Which is probably not good. How did he lose that? Oh, there you go.
You get shot at the arm.
And this is what I'm talking about, the physics. Like, those bullets, like, hit his hand because his hand was out, and there goes his hand.
And then boom.
Yep.
Oh, so it's not like... Christ, old reference for you kids out there. It's not like metal fatigue where you can like pick up the arm again and put it back on.
Once we get to the end of this mission, yeah, you might be able to, but we'll see how it goes. So now I have him.
But that guy doesn't do anything anymore. He's just a shield.
He just does a shield. So we're gonna fucking just do the
run
thing.
At a guy.
We're gonna run at this guy.
Rugby tackle this mech.
Yep. Yeah. Except that we're gonna. Yeah, that guy's not gonna be there. Then he's gonna hit a bit here. So we're just gonna bring my shield up and hopefully.
Cool.
Hopefully knock that guy in.
That's a good plan.
Yep. And then actually, I'm just gonna keep running. Just kind of keep following him and see what this does, because there's not much else he can do. So this is, if I was a smarter person at this point, I'd probably, in fact, you know what? That's actually a really bad idea. The thing I actually want to do is complete the mission. Okay, no, you're right. We
fucking rugby tackle the robot, you, and don't be a coward.
He's gonna move to there, so we want the shield up about there. No, we want it a little bit further before that, so that it's ready for when he's there. So the shield's gonna come up there. And he's going to basically run through him. So we're going to see how that goes. Whereas our actual mech that can do stuff is going to just cancel that movement. He's going to cross over here. This tank's just going to open up. So we'll maybe just immediately start shielding from this tank, because this tank's just going to blast us. Meanwhile, I'm going to
Can you shield and fire, or is it...
No, shield and fire are both actions. It's basically like this tank is equipped items. So that's guns, shields... You can get like shoulder-mounted rocket launchers and stuff like that. That will be on this track as well. So I want to keep this guy kind of in range. So I'm going to shield up and then basically hit this guy. Because he's actually not going to shoot. Well, he is going to shoot. He's going to shoot a bit there. But then I'll be covered by the shield. So the other thing, this is a little bit finicky, but like you can't say when to start or run. So if I hit run, it's going to start from where you are right now. So the only thing you can do is you can do a wait action that will be like, okay, I want to wait until about this point when he's going to start shooting, and then I'm going to start running and keeping him in optimal range.
Sure.
And try and like follow him into the
woods.
Into the woods. So from like there, and then just kind of keep him in range. Down here somewhere. And then I'm going to try and get an attack in there. You can see he's like 57, so maybe it's actually just going to open up on this guy. So I'm going to make shots on here, shot that guy, and then chase him down. This is going to go badly wrong. So let's see how our collision here goes first. So we're just going to run, boof. but it did knock that guy out. But it did knock that guy down, right? For
like a second.
So this guy is now fucking out of it.
That's
like this
excellent.
Guy is fucking dead. So actually, let's see what happened here. So if I do the replay, so you can see him, the collision here. You can see him stumble, see him hit the deck. So that ruins his.
I'm a massive fan of this, like fucking John Madden telestrating a mech fight. That's a good idea.
So the thing you can see here, this is why this is tactically useful. Sometimes you can see him.
See what happened here. He went for the long pass and ended up colliding with this guy's plasma shield and blew up on the field. Like, who would have guessed?
Yeah, let's see that again in slow motion. But the advantage here is that this guy is now out of action for that whole period till about here.
Is he not just dead?
Oh, our guy,
no, the
yeah,
other
100%.
mech. Okay,
the enemy
sure,
mech.
Right.
So anything he was planning to do here is now gone, right? And then the other guy, how did this go? So we're gonna do that. That shield went up. We're gonna blast that guy, which didn't do much. Then we're gonna turn around and blast that tank, which didn't do much. And then we're gonna take some shots here. Yeah,
this doesn't look like it's going well.
This is not going well. So we only have one mech left. So let's see what we can do. How's this guy looking? He's taking some damage. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna immediately. You see, everything is now shooting me. Great.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into position. We're gonna fire this guy. While keeping him moving. So again, this guy's gonna shoot from here. So ideally, like if I get up here, he can't really get me. But then that's gonna. Then I'm still in range there, but he is gonna shoot me the whole way up there. So that's not gonna go to me. So we're just gonna try and put some distance there. We're just gonna kind of get that there, and because I've got some time, let's move that there, and I'll just get my shield up while I'm. This guy's probably gonna do more damage. And then I'm gonna immediately start hitting again. That guy there. And then I'm going to do one more attack on this thing while I'm here. And then we're going to go. Oh, fuck. And again. This guy's still not there. Okay, last turn, and then we'll leave it there. I'm going to run at this. So where did that guy come from? Oh, he's going to charge down from the hill. Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to charge for the objective, which is a great idea. Meanwhile, I'm going to attack the tank immediately and do a bunch of damage to myself because oh, he's out. Oh, I did get the tank. Okay, so now it's just the two mechs. Okay, so I'm going to charge that way. Hopefully not do damage to this thing. I'm going to attack. Probably as soon as he crosses in there, I'm going to just start dumping. Meanwhile, actually, I put a shield up because somebody's going to attack me. I assume somebody's going to attack me on the way. Well, they're kind of not, actually. They're only going to attack once I do. So I probably want to protect there. Oops. Probably want to attack there. And then I want to get the shield up as soon as somebody starts opening up. Like there. Face this guy. He's closer. Do that. And we go. Go!
This is just... Okay, right. I was going to say this does not seem like a good plan, but I don't think you could have done anything else.
It's a terrible fucking plan. It's a terrible fucking plan. All units lost. So I'm just very quickly going to show, just before we piece out the other thing. So when you end, hopefully, with better result than this, I've lost both my mechs and thing. But what you can do is you can do recovery, right? Where you can basically say, so you've got a budget at the end of every mission for how much you can grab for salvage, basically. So I've got 50 points to spend. If I want to recover something, which means I can take it and just immediately start using it, that's usually 25 points. So I can grab 2 things, basically. Or if I just want to do it and turn it immediately into supplies, which are the things you use to pay for everything, it's only 10. So you can kind of decide how you want to spend your budget. Ideally, you want to like salvage the frame, which is the thing you put parts onto, because building a frame, again, costs money. And if you've got the stuff, you could just do that. But that's 80, and I've got no way of doing that. So you could just grab, like, hey, this is actually a really good shotgun, and then just burn these 2, and it'll be fine. Due to your total defeat, the enemy no longer considers you a threat and drops all escalation in this province. Huh, I hadn't seen that before. Okay, that's useful to know.
If you lose, they just don't think you're worth it, and then that's the...
So this is the thing that gets a little weird for me. Like, again, the tutorial for most of this is really, really good, but this is the point where it starts to get a little bit where I don't quite know what's happening. So I now have no pilots, right?
Yeah.
And no mechs, I don't think. Do I have a unit? I've got 1. So if the first time I did this and I like completely stomped on a mission, I'm just going to run back to base. I got completely stomped on a mission and lost both mechs, my only 2 mechs. And then what it said was, okay, get back to base and you can get some frames for free. And I'm like, okay. And then you get mech, like you get a fully like ready to go mech for free. And I'm like, and it's also built at that workshop level that I showed you before. So it's actually better than some of the mechs I had before. And I'm like, so what?
Yeah,
but you still need to get pilots, obviously, but you still get the mechs for free. Because they have to balance this thing of like, you can't ever be like completely game over, I don't think. Maybe. Who knows?
I was gonna say, yeah, but I don't know then how you would get into that situation if you have no pilot. If you had no pilots and no money, then surely that's a fail state. But that's...
yeah, okay, probably. But I don't think they give you pilots. So that might be the thing. But they built 2 more mechs out of me. So they're a useful thing as well. So some of these, see how this is a resupply point. The resupply point will let you obviously this lets you do a bunch of stuff, but the main part it lets you do is it fills up this liquid fix. So this is basically like they fill up the hopper in the truck, and as you're driving around at this level, your mechs will gradually heal until you run out of liquid fix. So you don't need to keep running back to the base all the time, but you do need to kind of like load up enough to do your sortie. And
you have to keep it at a certain percentage. Yeah.
So the other thing that that's kind of mechanical here, if I just quickly run into the enemy base again, or into the enemy, because you can kind of run around and explore, and nobody's really going to fuck with you until you cross like a patrol or something like that. I'm waiting for the home guard to recover here. So if I do this, cool. So now what I can do is this contest province button has come up. So everything here is like you're just kind of like skitting around, getting XP and getting, well, it's not actually not XP, getting like equipment and leveling stuff up and getting new things, all this kind of stuff. But you're never actually going to take this territory at this point. Even if you like start hitting bases and stuff like that, you're not actually going to take territory. In order to be able to take territory, you need to hit this contest province button. And what that's going to do is basically mark this territory as this territory is now in full-on war. So if I hit this button, province is now contesting, and you've got these 2 health bars, your health bar and the enemy health bar. So what's going to happen now is you have the home guard, like you have the rest of the rebellion fighting across this province, which you can probably see. So here, for instance, this has appeared. So there's a battle site over here. So the home guard are currently fighting over here and are probably not going to do great. They might not, who knows? But they have asked for your help. So if you get over there, you can help them, and then if you win that fight, it will knock out their health bar. If you hit a base, it'll knock out their health bar. If you start hitting patrols, it'll knock out their health bar. There's also specific objectives that are like, hey, this farm's super important. If you take that, it'll knock that off. And basically, the fight goes until one side loses their health bar completely. And then if it's you win the province. If you don't, you have to retreat out of the province and you lose.
Sure.
I don't actually know what you lose because I haven't got far enough to actually properly lose a province yet. But this is the thing. So while this is going, this is all just timed now. Like this has a time underneath it, so you need to make sure you get in there and actually go help them. So you can see as I'm moving, this bar is kind of slowly going down. But I'm over here. The fight's happening over here. You probably want to upgrade your base to move faster. But on the way here, you're going to hit patrols, all that kind of stuff. But this is how you actually start taking over provinces. And then as you can see, there's a lot of fucking provinces. Like, this is goes. So that's kind of, and then the objective is basically to take the country back, as you would expect. But yeah, so that's kind of the whole flow of the game. I've put like 7 hours or something into it right now, and it you do feel powerful, but it is also like stuff can go badly wrong very quickly, like I said, and like it does kind of hurt.
Well, I mean, in that situation, you literally just like turned your mech the wrong way, and then a mech was completely useless. Like that was...
But I think it does. If one of the things that put you off from XCOM was like the dice roll stuff, there's a way less of it here. It is about you being positioned correctly, like observing physics, like really. It solves all that problem, and the timeline thing, once you really get a hang of it, is actually super smooth to get stuff going, and it looks cool as shit. Like there's stuff like I've launched mechs off of the top of, like over the top of hills, like on top of or like over people to land behind them and open up on them, like all that kind of stuff. It's super cool. But yeah, Phantom Brigade, it's out on PC. I think it's 30. I can't quite remember, but there's a lot of game here to do, and there's a lot of, this is 40, 50, 60 hours of game, I'm relatively sure. There's a lot of room for expansion. There's a lot of like new stuff that appears. I wish I had the save for when I had a home guard unit with a beam cannon, because that thing just like, because when I was trying to aim the beam cannon, I was like, oh wait, weird, I can still hit this guy from behind a building. What the fuck's going on? It's because it just scythes through the building.
Yeah, it goes through the building.
It just opens up and just like cuts that building in half.
It's a fucking beam weapon, of course it does, yeah.
Yeah. The swords and beam weapon stuff are super cool as well, and there's a lot of way for you to really play it the way you want to play, it feels like. But yeah, Phantom Brigade, it's awesome. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, you.